Hey, I'm Roques. I'm here from Where You At Magazine. We're at the 2014 Voodoo Music Experience. I'm here with Aidan Gill, founder of Aidan Gill from Ed.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
So I wanted to know a little bit about how you got your start.
I started as an apprentice barber in Dublin, Ireland, where I'm from, born and raised, in 1969. I left high school at 16 and was offered a scholarship to Trinity College Dublin. Being a very smart 16-year-old at the time, I turned that down and went off to find a job, and then couldn't find a job because I had long hair, and then decided to go get a haircut. In order to get a job, went to a shop called the Voodoo Festival in Dublin. When I walked into the shop, they were playing Sunshine of Your Love by Queen, and they had a sign on the mirror that said Apprentice Wanted. And I looked at it and thought, these are my people, and I applied for the job, became a barber apprentice in 1969, and I've been doing this for 45 years now.
Oh, wow. As far as the aesthetic of the shop, it has a very kind of 1930s feel to it. What made you want to kind of recreate that, and how's the young generation, how are they enjoying it?
Well, after being in the business for about 10, 12 years, I kind of looked in the mirror and said, this is what you're going to be for the rest of your life. This is your calling and your job. You've got to make it the best you possibly can. So I looked around. I was living in London, and I noticed that all the barber shops were disappearing, and everything at that point was becoming unisex and androgyny and Boy George and all that. And I said, there's a place in the world for a barber shop. So I set about collecting. Over 30 years ago, I started collecting some of the objects you now see in the shop, and amassed a whole, I think I have one of the biggest collections of barbershop memorabilia in the country.
Oh, wow.
And both stores display a lot of these antiques, and I thought there was a place in society for a men's barbershop, and we're considered to be responsible for the present resurgence of all the barbershops around the country. Inc. magazine, in their interview, called us the king of the barbershop resurgence. So our mission was to save the barbershop from extinction. And I think we've sort of fanned the flames of a revival, and the young people have taken to it in an unbelievable way, even more than say the older people.
What's the most unique antique you found, or that we can find in perhaps at one of your stores in New Orleans?
I think the most unique objects that people always ask about are the old towel steamers. They have a globe, sort of a copper globe on top that held the towels, and they're a very fascinating piece of antique machinery. They're machines for steaming and warming up the towels in the barbershop. Most of them come from Argentina now and South America. They had a lot of them in the US, but after 1942-43, a lot of them were scrapped for the brass and copper for the war effort, and they were no longer in vogue then. They kind of fallen out of favor. They came in about 1895 and lasted until about the late 20s, and then after that they sort of fell out of favor, as shaving and barbershops fell out of favor.
I've noticed the big trend today seems to be men with beards. Any tips, do's, don'ts?
Well, most of the men with beards are young men, and like most young men, they're trying to attract young women. So one of the great things about attracting young women is you have to smell right, look right. If you look too much like a Rip Van Winkle coat, I'm afraid you'll be going home with a wooden spoon. So we sell a large range of men's products for beards. Some beard softeners, beard conditioners, beard shampoos. And again, the young people have taken to these. And I think the most successful bearded people are the ones that deal with just a little bit. Not too crazy, just a little bit of money.
And on that topic, I hear you have a new line of products coming out. Tell us a little bit about that.
We hope that in the first quarter of next year, our own product, Aidan Gill product range, will come out. It'll include products for the beard and mustache, and shaving cream, shaving oils, aftershave balms, and also shampoos and hair fixings such as pomades, sprays, etc.
And where will we be able to find that in New Orleans in addition to your store?
Well, initially it'll be in the store, but also we'll be selling it online at aidangillformen.com.
Okay. Any final words for us?
Keep it clean. If you look better, you feel better. It's a very old barbershop saying, and all the old signs are saying, look better, feel better. Looking better does make people feel better. So make the effort.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Pleasure, man. Say hello to Josh for me.